Today we're installing an oil pan on my 5.9 Cummins. Spelab hooked me up again and sent out their fully billet oil pan. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing. So one thing I really appreciate about this is how well they packed it, as you will see here. Boom. Very well sealed, lots of foam. And then here is our beautiful oil pan. Look at that thing, baby. This oil pan also comes with its own gasket and a set of new hardware. However, I don't want to diss this gasket. I just don't know it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to trust it. So I got this Felt Pro gasket instead. I think this will seal really well. So next stop is LMDiesel service, where we're going to be installing this pan. So let me go ahead and get this loaded up. And while we're driving there, I'll give you guys some reasons why you might want to run this thing. All right, so we're on the way to the shop to get this oil pan installed. While on the way, I figured I'd give you some reasons why you might want to run this oil pan. First thing, it's got a stainless steel drain plug with a magnetic tip. So stainless steel should last for a good long time. And then with that magnetic tip, it should help to pull any extra debris out of your oil every time you do an oil change. The second thing this oil pan offers is cooling fins at the bottom. These are great because it helps to keep the oil a little bit cooler. Awesome for when you're doing rowdy stuff like burnouts, or if you're just towing heavy. If you think your truck is running a little hot, having that extra cooling ability might help out a little bit. And then the final thing that this oil pan offers is an increased oil capacity. Now, once we finish this job and top it off with oil, I'll let you know how much extra the truck holds. But extra oil capacity is great for a couple reasons. Number one, better lubrication for the engine. The oil won't wear out as quickly just because there's more of it. And it will provide extra cooling as well. So whenever the oil is in the pan, there's more of a chance to cool down before it gets cycled back through the engine. So those are the benefits of running this oil pan. Let's go ahead, get to the shop, see what we got. All right, so we made it to LMDiesel service. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start draining the oil out of this thing. And then once we get everything taken apart, I'm gonna take you through everything you need to do to uninstall this oil pan while the engine is still in the truck. Shouldn't be too difficult, but there are a couple tricks that you have to know. So I'll check back with you in a sec. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so we got the old oil pan off. As you can see, a stock oil pan with a ton of silicone. All right, so let me talk you through what you need to take off to get this oil pan out. All right, so as you can see, the motor is lifted pretty far out of the truck, which is fine. So you'll need to take this intake horn boot off, unbolt the oil dipstick. That seemed to help. And then there's a motor mount bolt down there that you don't need to take off, but you just need to loosen. On this side, we did take the charge pipe off. I think on a stock truck, you don't have to, but you might. You can also see here that we did take the valve cover off. I think you can keep the stock valve cover on if you do have a stock one, but if you do have an aftermarket one like I do, I think you'll have to take it off. Here's also a good shot that just kind of shows you how you don't have to take the motor mount bolt out, but you can just loosen it to get it off. Finally, underneath the truck, you do need to loosen the transmission bolts. Just right here, it gives you just a little bit more room when working on it. Finally, I was able to avoid taking the downpipe off. However, I think this might have been a little easier if I had taken it off. So it's still on. We'll see if we can get the new oil pan with it still on, but there's a good chance that we might have to take it off. And then yeah, this gives you like a good underbelly shot here of kind of what we're working with. So we got to clean the surface off, make sure that it looks good. That's kind of our next step. Got our new Spelab oil pan here ready to go for install. Super excited for this. Got that Felt Pro gasket that we're gonna put on as well. When we do that, I think we will end up putting some silicone on this side and that side. The guys at BH said that that's what they normally do to help get these things to seal. I'll show you that once we do that. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning off that surface and getting it ready for the new oil pan and gasket. All right, so I switched to the iPhone here so it'll be a little easier for you to see. But we got our surface pretty much cleaned up, ready to go. We'll start putting this new pan on here in a second, but you definitely want to take your time to make sure this looks good and very clean. But yeah, it's underneath my motor. All right, so we got both oil pans here right next to each other, and you can really see the difference between the two. With the Spelab pan, you can really see the difference in the depth of how much oil it actually holds. The other thing that you'll notice as well is how this original oil pan is just kind of thin steel, but this Spelab one is just kind of thicker aluminum. It's just more rugged looking, looks stronger. So definitely a big improvement over the stock pan. So we're gonna go ahead and start to get this pan on to see how well it fits, see if we have to change anything. Once we make sure that we can get it on and off easily, then we'll go ahead and put the gasket on and seal it up. All right, so we finished up everything with the oil pan. A couple notes. Number one, we did end up having to get a new motor mount. Since the oil pan hangs down a little bit, it actually was touching the cross member a little, and my motor mount was kind of worn out, so it started to touch. So we ended up having to do a new motor mount on the passenger side, but once we did that, the clearance was fine and it was good. As far as putting it all back together, just one thing to know is you do have to take the downpipe off, but once we did that, it was super easy. We ended up lifting the truck probably about 4 or 5 inches to get the old oil pan out. We've been driving on the truck for about a week now, haven't had any issues, no leaks. I did end up doing a new valve cover gasket because it was leaking. And then finally, you'll notice the truck's looking a lot better. My boy Ian hooked it up. We were able to do paint match bumper, paint match Ford Valence, new clear headlights, and then also a chrome grille. So the truck is looking way, way better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Big thanks to Spelab for sending out that oil pan. And also check out the description below. I'll have a link to it as well as a discount code. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.